Rough day to say the least. Working at ESPN. We all know the news right now. No need to delay the obvious. My man Ryan Clark for ESPN is gone. He was let go by ESPN yesterday. There's a lot of noise circulating throughout social media and beyond about how he found out. He was on the air doing NFL Live when he was notified, and various reports out there were saying that, ESPN was concerned as a result of knowing that the information had leaked, that he would find out while he was on the air from somebody else, so they wanted to make sure he heard from them or whatever. I don't know all those details. And to be quite honest with you, I don't care. What I care about is that my brother, Ryan Clark, a person that I consider to be arguably the best NFL analyst in America, is no longer a member of ESPN. And I can't even tell y'all how much that hurts. He's a man, and so he's going to handle it the way men do. And we understand that. But I'm going to miss him. I am not happy about this decision one bit. The bosses know I'm not happy about this decision. I've made that very, very clear. But it's also important that myself and anybody else in the world of business be grown-ups and understand that these are the kind of things that happen when layoffs happen. It's Tuesday, and by the end of this day, you're going to hear about a lot more folks getting laid off. People that are my colleagues, my contemporaries. For all I know, and I don't know the names yet, but for all I know, some more of my friends are going to be gone. You have to get to a point where you recognize what being an adult in the room is all about. When we think about ESPN, first of all, let me be very, very clear. I can disagree with my employers. What you're not going to get me to do is insult my employers. Business is business. And whether we like it or not, those people who made the decisions, whether it's a Ryan Clark or a host of other people, are paid to make those decisions. It's in an enviable position to be in. It ain't the days when ESPN could just hire and hire and hire some more without ever having to let go or lay off anybody. Those days are long gone. I'm looking at notes here, and I'm thinking about May of 2013 when ESPN laid off 400 employees, 5% of its workforce.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in on Stephen A. Script Reader Smith deciding to jump out there and weigh in on a very controversial, wild topic that's been heavy in the conversation for the last 24 hours with Ryan Clark being fired from ESPN Live while doing the show NFL Live as they took a commercial break after they did the Jaden Daniels segment, and he never came back to the show. And then it started to circulate that he had been let go. That takes it from a layoff to firing because of the level that Disney is on, and we know for sure it ain't never supposed to go wrong like that when we talking about live. That's the conversation here. Stephen A. Smith gave a 17-minute video right there, plus or whatever. And true, give your respects, show the love. And I can't tell you how to run your platform or nothing like that. That's not what I'm doing here. But fam, the discussion and why this is going viral is not simply because they got laid off. That's always a discussion. That's something we all know. That's life. These guys are popular. They have fans. They have followings. People that work for ESPN, retired NFL players, Super Bowl winners, award winners, and everything. So people, they have an audience. Disney is big. ESPN is big. We know that. So it's going to be a discussion about it. People get laid off, and it sucks. Nobody likes it because you come to work. You're unprepared. They don't tell you this. They want you to put the 2 weeks notice in when you're going to leave or you're going to go to the job or you're resigning. But they don't give you a 2 weeks no when they fire you. We know all of that. That's not what people is talking about right now. It's not what they did, it's how they did it. It was very disrespectful what your bosses did, Stephen A. Smith. That's why we call you the script reader over here, because of the fact you did all that talking for 17 minutes and you're not addressing what people is really talking about. So don't come on, oh, I'm not finna go at my bosses and stuff. Your bosses are being talked about right now, Stephen A., because how they ran the play. How can you be that irresponsible? How can you be that disrespectful where the clips is still already getting ran? Y'all already had the stuff edited and all this, and they already knew that they was finna let him go. They didn't wake up this morning and decide that yesterday, hey man, we finna go and let him go today. Or I mean, we finna let him go Tuesday. No, they already knew he was out the door. This decision has been made like it's been made year after year after year. The call out and the backlash is based on how they did somebody who has been committed, dedicated, right, wrong, or indifferent, agree or disagree with his opinions. How do y'all do somebody like that? Which is going to raise up the questions and raise up the scenarios that this was intentionally done. They want to make an example out of them, and ESPN got to wear that backlash. Of course, nobody's above the program in life in general, for sure. That's just what that is. If you live in life righteous under God, ain't nobody above the program. Now, when it comes to certain programs, they are monopolized. They are very wealthy. So they run a big part of the program. They able to push and control narratives, and they employ so many people. They got power. They got structure. They got relationships. So it's certain things that they are above, but they ain't above being called out. That's just what it is. They did this very sloppy. And then the word came out that they were at the Fanatics Fest last weekend, and the chairman was right there kicking it with him and chilling with him like it was all cool, smooth, and everything was going to be cool. But nah, guess what? It come back around. Stephen A. Smith, you could say this, you could say that. I ain't finna go at the bosses, bro. We remember, you the guy that came out and said, when I go to work every day, I'm thinking about how to make my bosses more money.
Tell you why I'm successful at ESPN. Because I woke up one day in 2010 and I said, I know exactly what the hell has been wrong with me, and I figured it out. And I wake up every day. How do I make my bosses more money? How do I get some of it? Now, I haven't always been successful. There's a few people in here that were my bosses that I thought I could have done a better job for, and I'm sorry I wasn't as good as I needed to be.
You put that out there. So now we just calling it out for what it is. You did a lot of word salad and word semantics right there. Like, hey, let me let y'all know that, hey, the bosses know I ain't happy about this. Cool. But then you say at the same time, man, ain't no, I understand business. Oh, yeah, we all understand business. Oh, we understand that layoffs is real. We talking about the disrespect that came with it, where they made dog get off the air in real time where people is watching that show. I don't be watching it, but people watching this show, bro was just on the show and they fired him, and it's out there in the news that he got fired. So who leaked the information? Who put it out there? And it's a bunch of speculation, you know, the incident that happened last year with old boy on there. I don't think that was the reason why, but we don't know what the reason is why it went down like this. Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith are the faces of ESPN right now, just keeping it all the way 100. They saying they finna increase his budget, and we know that budgets is messed up. You gotta, let's keep it 100. If you know the game, all this independent media, like Ryan Clark has himself, he's gonna go to the Pivot podcast and do his independent thing that they've already been doing. That's the wave of the game, and that most definitely hurts their viewership and their audience, especially in the streaming world. They got a lot of competition now. People don't have to wait to ESPN to get analysts and different opinions. And then you got athletes running their own shows that people is tapping into. So they not controlling that market like they used to. So they're like, hey, we just gonna have stars, and the others that we feel that we need are returning this thing when it comes to this situation. But we got to call it for what it is right here when it comes to this negligence and disrespect that they gave out there for dog. But tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos, all that. 1,000 for Shit Show. Stay on your pivot. We got something coming to that Patreon as well. Lock in with us.